Thought I told you I never wanted to see you again.
That's only because you're too lazy to learn anything more.
Thinks he knows so much because he was one of my first patients as an intern.
Knew as much as she did. A simple cholecystectomy turned into a month-long stay.
Better not be alleged malpractice. Guy raises about 100 grand a year for cystic fibrosis, running triathlons.
You run triathlons?
Why not?
Pain, for one. Says here you're finally admitting to feeling a little.
A little.
How little? Truth.
Well, enough to keep me awake at night. Had some seizures. It's probably just my pancreatitis kicking up again.
We'll be back with your results and a plan. Where do your parents think you are this time?
New Jersey.
It looks like that I'm gonna have to take out your pancreas and reroute your intestines.
Did you tell her that my lungs don't do well with anesthesia?
Don't I always have your back?
I'm afraid you're gonna go into multi-system organ failure if we don't operate.
If I say no?
Your kidney function is decreasing
It's
rapidly.
gonna put a lot of stress on your body.
Yeah, but I'm me.
But you're you.
So if we don't operate, I die. And if we do operate, I may die.
Basically, yes.
Well, I like those odds. So if I get lucky, great. And if I don't, it's been sweet.
It's gonna stay sweet. Why isn't anyone moving?
It's been 10 minutes since we've had a perfusing rhythm. It's your call, Dr. Bailey.
And was she at the Overlook when she called?
I didn't know where she was. She didn't say.
We just want to find out what really happened, Greg.
Me too. It's just so hard to even imagine Isabel taking her own life. Just so not who she is.
I'd like your permission to take a look at your tires, get a soil sample off the rubber.
Wait a minute, you still think I did this?
As soon as we can determine you absolutely weren't there, we can move on to finding out who was.
Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
You have no reason to suspect my son with the death of this disturbed young woman.
No, we are not doing that. Not here, not today. We're not talking about her that way. I loved her, and she is not, was not disturbed.
Your tires match the tire tracks at the scene.
That's not possible.
And forensics found traces of soil embedded on your car that matches the soil samples taken from the Overlook. Greg, unless you can prove that the car was not in your possession, that you had loaned it to someone, or perhaps it was stolen.
We're down here.
Mr. Watt, don't you have something to add
Greg?
here? It wasn't your son I was questioning. Greg, you weren't in that car at all, were you?
Well, he said his battery was dead.
Greg.
You told me you were going to the office. What's going on?
We went back to the scene this morning to retrieve Isabel's cell phone, along with this.
Pick up. She's calling you, Greg. Remember that call?
Can we turn this off now?
Sure thing. Have a seat. We're not through.
But what's left to talk about?
Did you know that your son volunteered at a suicide hotline? He started taking calls from the lonely and the desperate. He got a call from someone who fit the profile of what he needed. It was Isabel.
Perhaps we could meet in person.
Greg made her feel special. So when he told her to seduce his father, to record it and use it to blackmail him, she did it. And then she called you to tell you about it.
I taped the whole thing for you. But what are you saying? You told me that you needed me to do...
You knew you could get her to jump.
I love you!
And you were right.
Making it look like your father killed her so you could get power of attorney and control of his money.
Dad, they're lying. Dad, it was all Isabel's idea. She told me that we could be together, and I believed her. Dad!
Young man, I have a warrant for your arrest.
Yeah? Well, you're gonna have a tough time proving any of it, and even if you could, I didn't kill her, so the worst thing you can get me on is conspiracy to blackmail.